Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah.
We're doing awesome down here in Brazil. We're excited to share with you what's been happening recently and what is coming up in the new year. We hope you guys are all doing well.
Yeah, we recently in Floripa, we just had a little mini conference called Catalyse, and it's a kind of a private conference for leaders all around Brazil. So we had about 40 leaders come, people that are involved in works of justice within their church or their mission base, and people involved in the prayer movement here in Brazil. And it was just like a really intimate time. We were in Dwayne Roberts' house, and for 3 days we just sat around couches and chairs and just talked about what God's doing in Brazil, how we can work together and help each other and what each other is doing in Brazil. And I think the greatest thing was that it was a time of vulnerability and an opportunity for leaders to be vulnerable before one another, to pray for one another. It was just a very powerful time, especially for leaders in Brazil.
Yeah, and it was really special for us to be there and just to be involved with people we've known for a long time, but really to just see a synergy happening between many different ministries. So we were really excited to be there. And yeah, we just had our first Thanksgiving, not in America, which was a little bit strange. We woke up on that Thursday morning and baking and using my toaster oven and so excited, and I go out my front door and Brazil it's just a normal Thursday for Brazil, and I'm like, don't you know it's Thanksgiving? This is the best day ever. So, but we had a lot of fun. We went to the Roberts and baked the day away. We had 4 toaster ovens going at one point, baking pies from scratch because they don't have Pillsbury pie stuff here, and it was really fun. And there's about 20 or so expats in our community, or people that have lived in the States, that kind of get what Thanksgiving is about, and we just rolled out a huge table and feasted together, and it was a really sweet day. We missed our family so much, but the Lord was really close to us, and we're pushing through this holiday season, staying in Brazil. A lot of people ask us, when are you coming home? And we really feel like we're supposed to stay for a whole year, this first year, and really make this place our home. Not be so quick to return to America, but really linger here and fight for this place to feel like home and kind of push through that homesickness. So that's what we're up to right now.
And one of the ways we're doing that is language school.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We just finished our first semester of language school at UFSC in Florianopolis, and we're getting ready to really kick into high gear. We're going to do a language intensive in January, which is a 3-week intensive. It's every day, about 4 hours a day. We'll be in language school, and that will kickstart us jumping right into our second semester. And we're really excited about that, really taking this serious. It's difficult, it's hard. Some days I hate Portuguese, some days I love it. Sometimes I learn a new word and it just fascinates my heart, and other days I just can't figure out how to put a sentence together. But it's really good, it's really fun, and we're really excited about that because it's so foundational to what we're doing here and what we're going to be doing in the future.
Yeah, and definitely we're really starting to see breakthrough with language. I had a 45-minute conversation the other day with a woman about just basic life stuff, and it was just, I walked away and was like, oh my gosh, I just talked to her for 45 minutes without English. And just those moments where you have grace and you have a patient person with you that'll talk to you and linger with you in those words you don't understand and help you find them. And I can walk away from a conversation and be like, wow, I could not have done that 4 months ago. And it's those moments that really encourage us that we're slowly but surely making progress and are able to have more of a heart connect with people, which is what we've so longed for a long time.
Yeah, and so since school's been over, we've been traveling a lot. We're actually in Vitória, Brazil right now. We've just had some incredible times. We're really connecting with the people we're running with in Brazil. We're doing a lot of training and equipping. We're in Curitiba at a missions base where we're able to take about 50 people from that base and really train them in the practice of reaching out to women and children in sexual exploitation. Got to visit Rio Liberdade, which is so precious to us. We got to found that place and continually build relationship with the leaders there, and doing a lot of training and equipping with their staff and their internship. And we're about to do the same thing here in Victoria at the base with our friend Victor Vieta.
Yeah, and while we've been traveling, we actually got to reconnect with someone that we told you about in August, which is a very famous transvestite here named, her name is Luana. She's known as the Queen of Lapa. She's a 60 or so year old transvestite who's been in prostitution since what he describes the age of 9. His first time prostituting himself was at the age of 9, and we know that that was sexual abuse of a child, but he really owns prostitution, his own story within it, and he's become kind of a local celebrity in this artsy area of Lapa in Rio. And we've been able to have just really significant meetings with him over the last year. I first met him when he was prostituting. We reconnected almost a year later, and then in August, and then we just got to see him again, just go to dinner with him. And you know, it's a very interesting time when you spend with him. He is you know, just extremely lost, extremely broken. And we just really got to sit there for 2 hours and listen to him and make eye contact with him and love him and look at him and believe that we were seeing him how the Lord sees him. And he shared with us his name as a boy, what his actual male name was, and when we aren't with him, we're praying that man forward. But it's just it's been an interesting relationship that the Lord continues to ask us to walk out, and we're believing for this man's salvation. We're believing for his restoration. He claims that he's helped more than 3,000 transvestites get to Europe to prostitute. He's shown us around a house that he owns where 30 transvestites live. The transvestites in that neighborhood have to pay him to be able to prostitute those streets. He really is somewhat of a trafficker or a pimp. We're not for sure to what degree his involvement is, but he's definitely a strategic person as far as understanding how young boys in Brazil are recruited into this lifestyle of prostitution and morphing into these transvestites. So it's someone we feel the Lord's really giving us grace and strategies to love. And you know, as when we left him the other night, he really just talked about himself for 2 hours, but he had tears in his eyes as we were leaving, and just, you know, wanted to stay with us, didn't want us to leave, and just realizing like the presence of Jesus in us, regardless of what we say or don't say, really does speak more than we ever could. And I believe that he encountered that safety and that presence of Jesus as we were with him. And so we're continuing to build a relationship with him. We have long-term vision beyond just dinner time with him, but to really disciple him, love him, believe for the fullness of Jesus to come into his life. So please keep praying for him.
Yeah, this is someone who wields a lot of power. Yeah. They have a lot of authority in Brazil over prostitution, especially with transvestites, and he can be very violent. It's a very dynamic situation, and we need wisdom to move forward.
Yeah, and then just as we're wrapping up this end of the year, we're really reflecting a lot on what God's done. I mean, in January, we knew that this was the year we were moving to Brazil, and so from January to June, we were on the road meeting with you guys, just building a team of people who have so sent us and covered us and supported us as we've landed on the ground here, and we're just reflecting a lot on that journey of getting here, really building a foundation the last 6 months where we feel like we're not in survival mode anymore. You know, we know how to pay our bills and how to get to and fro. We're learning the language, and so we're really excited looking into the new year feeling like we're really going to be able to gain some ground and some traction. We've told you we're starting a small group in our house with within the FHOP community. There's so many just young people and staff members that are really desiring to begin to walk out works of justice and outreach to the exploited. And so we're going to start that small group in our home and really just laying a foundation in the Word. What does the Word say about justice? What does it say about Jesus? How do we carry our hearts in compassion, but then giving that burden back to the Lord? How do we walk the tension of justice and prayer and looking at the painful things we're looking at with this issue? And so we're going to bring a small group. We really want to take them from point A of just beginning to understand the issue to the end of how do we really walk it out in a compassionate, enduring way. And so we're excited about that. We feel like the Lord's really giving us some strategies of how to equip Brazilians to walk this out. And we're just loving being in the FHOP community and the support and love that we've experienced there. So we're excited to do this with this group of people. And we'll be starting that in January. And we're still gaining an understanding of prostitution in our city, where it's happening, where there's places that we can reach out to these men and women. And so just, be praying with us as we take some different steps in the new year to begin to really put some things into formation. So we're excited about that and looking forward to the new year.
And guys, we're here, we're doing it, and this is impossible without you. And we're just looking back at this year, and we're so grateful for you for sowing into us, for praying for us, for coming together and believing what God wants to do in this nation and the nations of the earth. And we're just grateful. We're finding this time. We just celebrated Thanksgiving, and I'm just thinking of all of you. And I'm just so grateful for you and what the Lord is doing, and we're really doing this together. So guys, have a Merry Christmas. Have a great time with your family. I hope it's prosperous, joyful, and you just experience the beauty of Christ as the glory of God in the face of Christ was revealed to us in this season. And that's what we're celebrating, the incarnation of this man. And we're happy that we're together doing this. So bless you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.